Baka naman pwede.
Baka naman pwede?
Baka naman pwede.
Mga isyung napapanahon ating pag-usapan.
Baka naman pwede.
Gamit ang mga pananaw mula sa iba't ibang kalinangan.
Baka naman pwede.
Mula sa Institute of Philippine Culture, kami inyong samahan, tayo'y maghuntahan. Dito lang sa
Baka naman pwede.
Tuwing Huwebes, alas 3 ng hapon, dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Rejoice, refresh, renew, and reflect. Join us for an hour of music that uplifts the soul. Listen to your favorite Jesuit music ministry artists. This is JMM Radio. Get your day's dose of inspirational music. Tune in to JMM Radio every Wednesday Only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Palalimin ang kamalayan sa mga isyong napapanahon. Makisangkot at makiisa kasama ang simbahang lingkod ng bayan. Ang Socio-Political Apostolate ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. Ito ang Kwentuhang Bayan mula alas 11 ng umaga tuwing Biyernes dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Dahil naniniwala kami na posible ang isang mas mabuting lipunan at maaari itong simulan sa isang kwentuhan. Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Coming up next, Level Up Exclusives on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Katipunan.
3 o'clock prayer. You died, Jesus, but the source of life flowed out for souls, and the ocean of mercy opened up for the whole world. O fountain of life, immeasurable divine mercy, cover the whole world and empty yourself out upon us. O blood and water, which flowed out from the heart of Jesus as a fountain of mercy for us, I trust in you. Holy God, holy mighty one, holy immortal one, have mercy on us and the whole world. Holy God, holy mighty one, holy immortal one, have mercy on us and the whole world. Holy God, holy mighty one, holy immortal one, have mercy on us and the whole world. Amen. Jesus, King of mercy, we trust in you.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at sa loob, sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugod, todo sa kayod, dunong at lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
Mga Katipuneros, it's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
All good already, all the best. And when I learned that she's coming out with the book, I said she has to be back here because it's our advocacy to make a mark in this world. She didn't only become Miss Universe and now she continues to make a mark. And then in the onset of the Christmas season, I said, we need someone with all the Christmas tidings, Christmas cheer, good vibes. When I'm with her, the first time I asked her, sabi ko, okay, she's family. And I felt it. And she had to be back here. And sabi ko, Christmas is family. And I just feel it. Pia Wurtzbach is here, but she's not only Pia Wurtzbach. Pia Wurtzbach Wurtzbach-Jauncey.
Yes.
Queen Fee, how are you?
I am great. I'm so happy. This was such a what a year this was. A lot of things happened this year. First I got married. So
Yes.
that's a
Planado naman yan, P? Or, well, knowing you, merong plano, pero it's surrendering to the unknown. Yun ang mystery ng Pia eh. Parang, oh, pinag-aaralan niya yung mga bagay-bagay, like other people, pero may mga surprises that you're embracing.
yeah.
So, yeah, looking back at your year, it seemed like it was another banner year. You got married, yes. What else? Traveled
So-
a lot?
Well, we traveled a lot, yeah, of course. And well, the book is a really big one too. This was something that we thought na hindi na matutuloy because we were ready to launch it. We were ready a long time ago, Noel. Like we were gonna do this before the pandemic. Oh no,
Before the
2020
pandemic.
around March.
Okay.
And
And then
then-
the pandemic. So parang nakatulong din yung pandemic to have you fix everything, no?
Yes.
Ang galing.
Because that's when we were ready. It was a different title then, a different cover. We didn't have Total Publishing with us pa, so hindi
Not
pa
yet.
international yung ganap. So
Oh.
but then it all came together while we were waiting for everything to ease. And it was a long time. The pandemic, lasted for 2 years or so.
Yes.
And during that time, that's when we met our international publisher, Total Publishing. That's when we were able to really fine tune everything and make sure that it's suited for the young audience, which is my target. Any pageant enthusiast or even anyone who just has a dream. Kasi hindi naman to pageant book, hindi naman siya pageant.
Oh, that you have to explain, no? That somewhere in this book, they can find themselves or they can
Yes.
learn something, no? Ang galing.
Mhm.
Tapos, P, ito pa, you're also helping ABS-CBN Publishing.
Yeah.
I know them, si Mark Yambot, and we're working on some book projects and parang, well, grabe sila to make everything survive and keep afloat.
Yeah.
And thanks to you, they're so excited promoting your book. So they better promote it well. So tell us where the germ of the idea came from.
Okay. So this is something that I already had
Dati pa.
planned, pero I didn't quite, parang hindi ko pa gets kung paano ko siya execute, but it was one of the things that I was sure I wanted to do after winning Miss Universe.
Very
Kasi
good.
after I won Miss Universe, ang advice sa akin nila Paula, yan yung
Mm.
mga taga Miss You, is that write down your plans, like think of the things you want to do after this, because there's so many. Some girls, they go back to acting. Some naman, they want to go back to school. Some start their own business. Some become full-on showbiz. Yung iba nagsusulat. Yung iba nagkakaroon ng sariling brand. So I wrote down some ideas. And then when I was given the chance, actually si Miss Rica ang nag-connect sa akin sa ABS-CBN Books. So I had a meeting with them and then I said, okay, let me pitch a few ideas. And I already had these ideas in the back of my mind. Sabi ko, if I'm ever offered to work with ABS-CBN Books, I would either want to do a self-help book or a novel. Tapos I had another idea for like a lookbook na mas pang vanity naman yung makeup.
Oh,
Yan,
but
mas pang pageant girls.
yeah.
So, nilatag ko, para ko nag-pitch sa kanila, nilatag ko yung mga idea ko. Tapos sabi ko, ito yung mga nai-imagine kong kaya kong gawin. Tapos sabi nila, ito yung gagawin natin. Ito yung based on our experience, alaman namin, ito yung kakagatin ng mga tao at kakagatin ng audience mo.
Galing. And also,
Sabi-
may magandang analysis ka of your audience.
Yes.
No? Parang it all starts from there and what they can consume. At
Mhm.
ang galing, Pia, kasi now that they're on social media, we're giving them another alternative on
Yes.
the long form. Kukunti na lang yan, kumakapit tayo dyan, but there's nothing like, and we know that, your book in the library, you have a novel in the
That's
library.
true. Yeah.
It's a creation of knowledge. Thank you. And so you decided on the novel.
Yes.
versus a self-help book? Kasi anyone can just do that. No, not naman anyone. Dapat may expertise, no? Hanapan ka ng ganong expertise. Why the novel?
Okay, so when I was growing up, self-help book talaga yung naumpisahan ko.
Correct.
Kasi hindi naman ako,
no? Yes.
oo, kasi nahiya akong humingi ng advice sa mama ko noon, tapos sa mga kaibigan ko, tapos feeling ko rin medyo kung bagets noon wallflower. So sabi ko, I want to learn more about how I can break out of this bubble I'm in and make it into the world. Like I really had a deep want to make it so self-help book. And then for entertainment purposes, nagbabasa din ako ng mga chick lit. So one of my favorite ones was actually LA Candy by Lauren Conrad. And if you know Lauren Conrad, she was on The Hills, sa MTV The Hills, and then she came out with a book after she did the series about a girl, hindi siya, pero it sounds like her. So when you're reading it, you feel like nangyari ba to talaga sa kanya? O may mga dinagdag na lang to, ganyan. So I remember just being hooked and I couldn't put it down. And I was like, this is genius because hindi na siya lumayo. Buhay niya, sumali din sa reality show, tapos may mga dramang nangyari, tapos dilagyan na lang niya ng mga konting palabok here and there, alam mo yun, para mas maging exciting sa mga nagbabasa. So, doon ko nakuha yung idea na if I'm ever going to do something similar like a novel, hindi na ako lalayo. I want it to be based on my life story.
Okay.
But because it's fiction, I can make it dramatic and add little things here and there that not necessarily happen to me in my life, but that I
Can
think
happen.
can happen or other people would find interesting, as part of the story.
Ang maganda nun, ang sabi palagi sa atin, our imagination is the richest source of knowledge. Di ba? Sometimes, yung reality natin, yung imagination natin, mas malawak pa sa reality. Kaya, ang ganda nung tinahak na parang it's the novel and then it's based on your reality and then you created the story. Ito talaga, Pia, ang galing talaga na paggawa ng storya. You chose to even in doing the pageant scene, parang it's creating stories and you're hooked on that. Maganda sigurong mantra yan that we are into creating stories that will be beneficial to other people. So you thought of your audience. What's your takeaway of this book when they read it?
I know when you see the book Queen of the Universe. Hold on, let me just
Ayan na. Ilan ng versions ng cover? Knowing you, hindi pwedeng isa lang. Di ba?
OMG.
Diba?
I went through a few versions of this cover.
Yeah.
If I show you, Noel, what it was supposed to look like, completely different. Completely different. So we went through a few. I actually went to fight for this one. Sabi ko, hindi, ito yung gusto ng mga Gen Z aesthetic. Tatlong kulay lang, hindi masyadong komplikado. Tsaka klaro, na when you first look at it, you know it's a chick lit, you know it's fun, you know it's, wala nang guessing game. Pagka unang lingon mo pa lang, stand out na siya. Kasi I know it's gonna be among many books, right, when it's displayed. So you think of that. So when you think Queen of the Universe, automatically you think, oh, is this about the pageant? But it's not. It's about the story of a young girl who lives with her mom and her sister with an estranged dad who is a famous director, and she's trying to make her mark in the industry without using her last name. And also just making her own mark. Pero she keeps failing at it. Ang dami niyang rejections. Hindi natutuloy yung mga plano niya. And then she joins a pageant. And then that's when, that's when the story, that's what happens in the story. So the title Queen of the Universe, it's really, kasi it's not beauty queen. It's like lahat naman ng tao, we all have different titles, we wear different hats, we have different crowns, if you will. Some of us are in the entertainment industry, some of us are educators, some of us are businesswomen, businessmen, iba-iba. So everybody wears their own crown and you can be the queen of your own universe. So
Be the
that's
best, di ba?
story.
Of where your kingdom
Yeah.
is. Parang ganon.
And it doesn't mean necessarily winning at something. It could just be winning a personal battle or finding yourself. So kaya nga, it says what happens when success means compromising everything you believe in, including yourself.
Yourself, yes. I saw that. And then, with you, ano naman yung natutunan mo when you were doing this book? Not easy, no?
Not easy. I learned that I usually start things and then I put it off, or I start like I make 20% progress and then if I'm not nudged, if you don't give me a nudge to continue the task, mahirapan. Kasi I'm like thinking and doing so many things at once that I need to be reminded to jump back into tasks. So one of the
But
hardest
you're good at it, no? You're really good at multitasking.
I have to have lists if
Galing.
I want to make it happen.
Pero
Yeah.
kailangan, yun nga, the determination in making it happen. So, that, no, the book. Salamat din kasi yun yung sabi namin palagi, panglaban sa Alzheimer's. Di ba?
Oo.
Yung sabi na, one chapter a day would save you
Yeah.
from that. Yung tipong, di ba parang ang training nga natin, bago matulog yung bata, one chapter, magbasa ka lang. So,
Yeah.
this will be an easy read. You don't expect people like to put it down anymore.
No, this is meant to be really light and easy and entertaining, funny sometimes, petty sometimes. It's supposed to be fun. And I have ABS-CBN Books and Total Publishing to thank. I didn't do this alone. Of course, I had amazing guidance from people around me to make sure that I finished this, to make sure that we finished this. But really, truthfully, the story is mine. I conceptualized the story. I see comments sometimes, people saying like, it's impossible that she did this. Like, she just pasted her name on this thing and then she's just selling us parang endorsement lang to na she just selling us one more thing. But really, like a lot of, I'm not gonna lie. Syempre may mga tumulong sa akin, may mga nagbasa rin ito para sabihin na this will not work. We gotta change this and that. We need to add more to it or less of this and that. So, but I'm just happy that is now.
That's true.
It's now in the flesh, like you can read it now. This used to be just papers and papers of manuscripts na hindi man lang naka-fastener, na nakakalat. So,
and you made it happen, no? Yung isang learning dyan, when you are into workshops sa writing, wag ka raw masyadong protective dun sa bida. Huwag mo siya masyadong mahalin kasi banggain mo siya sa yun yung tinaturo sa amin ni Ricky, no? Ibangga mo siya sa maraming obstacles and you'll see, mas marami siyang binabangga, mas marami siyang sinusurmount na problem, mas nagiging tao siya. And that's very you. So, kasi learning yan sa mga very humbling for writers. Yung di ba, because we want to protect ourselves, our persona in the story. Parang, yung pinakamagaganda gusto mong ilagay doon para sa'yo. Yung learning is when you write it, parang, mas nagiging totoo. Did you feel that in the process?
Yeah, it's, I felt that parang trial and error thing na, okay lang bang ilagay ko to? Okay lang bang ganito mangyari sa kanya? Tapos, also like really thinking of it na, yung step back and really look at the story as a whole and think, may butas ba yung kwento? Kasi the worst is for somebody to read it and be like, you know what? The story could have gone this way if only she did this. May na-miss out kang butas, ganyan. Hindi nag-connect lahat. May character na walang sense, ba't siya nandun? Yung mga ganon. So,
but what was your process? What was your process? You just write and write first, di ba? Kasi when you write and you start editing, nakukawawa naman yung creative juices mo. What did you do? But knowing you, Pia, you edit yourself too much.
So, I started with conceptualize the story muna, yung main character muna. Ano yung mga nangyari sa kanya? So, hindi naman ako lumayo na sa akin. So, sabi ko, okay, parang si Pia. Ganon. So parang si Pia, pero may boyfriend siya. Ganon. So may boyfriend siya, habang sumasali siya. Tapos yung mga co-candidate niya, tapos ito yung mangyayari sa kanya, ganyan. So parang I don't know if it's the same process for other writers, but
Mhm.
I started with the main character and kumbaga skeleton muna siya, parang branches
Yeah.
ng puno. Yung puno muna, tapos tsaka na yung mga sanga niya.
Correct,
Tsaka
correct.
yung mga sanga, tsaka na yung, we can add this character because then she connects to this
Yes.
next thing that will happen to her. Tapos babalik doon. Ang interesting nung ganun, it wasn't easy. When there were also moments where I needed, because I'm more of a speaker than a writer, there were also moments where I needed to say it out loud as if kinukwento ko siya para mabuo siya.
Ang galing.
Kasi hindi ako yun na ako lang sa sarili ko na imagine tas sulat.
That's true.
Kailangan ko siyang kinukwento sa iba. I need a sounding board all the time. So I need to like say it out loud to somebody and then kind of get reassurance na yes.
Galing.
And then I go,
Well,
okay.
and you got it. Kasi kunyari, ilatag, maganda yung latag. After ng latag, you open it up to other people. Kaya nga writing really is a parang a practice of humility. When you open it up to other people and other people's interpretation, di ba? Dapat hindi pwede yung balat sibuyas ka na okay, sasabihin nila, ay baka mas maganda pag ganyan. Some people take it personally, di ba? Pero ikaw, at least you are open to guidance.
Oh yes, kasi I mean I'm not like a seasoned writer. Hindi naman ako, this isn't like my 10th book, you know what I mean? So so I trusted people around me. I trusted other people to give me good advice and really remembering na we all just want this to do well. So I know whatever feedback you give me I have to listen and I have to really apply. Like for example, nung first draft namin nito, iba pa yung title, iba pa yung cover. Tapos I don't know if you were able to if you don't have a copy yet, Noel, please let me send you one. I don't
Please and sign it. Pero I will read it from book to book, but I think I'll see you at the book fair.
Okay.
I'll catch you there.
Okay.
We're always there. Remember when you launched the other book, when you were part of the book, you were there too. Doon talaga, it's our safe refuge. Kasi iba yung vibe talaga. Buti na lang nayakap mo yun. Yung pagmamahal sa libro. And I'll ask you that later.
So, when, okay, wait, what, ano yung sinasabi mo?
Yun, hindi pa ganyan. Sabi mo, hindi pa ganyan. Yung
Okay. So, and then Total Publishing came in. So, when they came in, we now had new pairs of eyes looking at it and reviewing and giving us like some feedback on how it would perform internationally. Kasi syempre gusto namin na mabili din to sa abroad. Since international launch tayo. And they said, we need to add more Filipino elements to it. We need to be able to...
That's precisely what I wanted to ask. How much of your being Filipino is in the book? Because it will make it unique.
I did receive a lot of guidance from them on how we can make it more Pinoy, but places in the Philippines are mentioned. BGC is mentioned. Our Filipino family traditions are mentioned. The first chapter pa lang, it starts with medianoche. So, mag-New Year na. Tapos, ang kultura ng mga Pinoy na nagmamano. Ano yung mga handang pagkain? Mga titang nagchichismisan. Meron kang tita na lagi kang inaano sa weight mo, na kino-comment ka sa weight mo. Tito mo na kailan ka
magkakapakasal.
Mga ganon. So, it's really... I mean, not every chapter is like that, obviously, but may nai-insertan ng pagka-Pinoy. So kahit na, at may konting Tagalog words din. So kahit na hindi ka nagtatagalog or kahit hindi ka Filipino, or if you've never been to the Philippines, if you read the book, you'll be able to picture being here and imagine the setting na ano bang itsura ng nandito ka sa Pilipinas? Ano ba yung kultura ng mga Pinoy? Ano ba yung feeling ng nasa pageant?
Ang galing that Total Publishing, an international publishing group, will be the one to suggest that, no?
Yeah.
To look for that place where you grew up in, and di ba parang giving it context. Ang ganda lang that you didn't lose your being a Filipino there.
It was great advice. Kasi at first, I was only thinking about the characters. Kasi para sa akin, given na yan, alam naman ng mga Pinoy kung ano itsura ng Pilipinas. Alam mo yung parang ganun ako, masyado kong nakafocus dun sa kwento lang
But
na
there's nothing like
sila ang
immortalizing
nag-remind.
them.
Yeah, na no, kailangan mas buo to. Ma-imagine na yung setting, yung background, nasaan ba to, ganyan.
Alam mo ba na parang, well, hindi ka pa nga magkakaanak, parang nanganak ka na with a book. Di ba? Parang, yeah, it's giving birth to something. Eh. It's your creation. It's your creation.
Nakakakaba.
No, di ba? Nakakakaba, pero parang like a creation, like isang anak, kaya nagustuhan nyo hindi, ito yung pinakamagandang nagawa ko. Yun eh. So, I guess people will see through the hard work and the representation of the Filipinos there and would like to thank you. Second, bakit libro? Bakit nga libro? Well, were you really bent on like giving that parang that extra nudge para magbasa yung mga tao, or did you see that kasi yung mga tao ngayon social media, di ba? Lahat ang research nila nasa phone na. It's not like flipping the page. Sorry, old school.
Yeah. No. I gusto ko libro kasi yun ang nagustuhan ko nung when I was growing up eh. So I feel like this is kind of like my gift to my young self. You know, like I grew up liking self-help books. I grew up finding chick lit very entertaining. And I was like, wouldn't people still like this? It crossed my mind though, I'm not gonna lie, na parang, will this still work because of the social media age? Maiksi na attention span ng mga tao at baka hindi na sila interesado sa ganito. But according to sa kakatanong ko din, tanong-tanong ganyan, meron pa rin talagang mga nagbabasa. Meron pa rin talagang audience for it.
Meron, at saka yung contribution mo to to reading. Kasi yung mga tao, 'di ba, visual, napaka-visual na, no? But this is your contribution to yung visual, bago pa man naging visual, mas rich yung spoken word or yung written word. So, yun, maraming salamat. And then after this, I asked Mark, the publisher, ABS Publishing, will you see translations of this in different languages? It's a possibility, ba? Yeah.
I haven't thought about that, honestly. I mean, if we're asked, if there's a demand for it, why not? For sure. This didn't even cross my mind. I know napag-usapan namin for a while an audiobook with my voice. So, yun, game ako doon. If we get the go signal from Total to do that, I would definitely record it. But to be translated, that didn't cross my mind yet. But if it's but you know, napipicture ko, Noel, gusto ko maging series. O kaya
correct. And Little Prince, di ba? Parang ganun yun, di ba? Different languages even. And then eventually, alam natin yan, can be made to a series or a movie afterwards. Di ba? Parang ang galing lang that you have that contribution to creation, to art.
Yeah.
Yun. And, well, I have to tell people that that's the thing that's different with Pia. She continues to be relevant. She continues to be grounded. And that's what ako parang, kwento ko palagi to, before mag-Miss Universe si Catriona, you were with Heidelin. Very close to Heidelin, shooting a commercial. And then she learned a lot from you and say, oh, parang there's another Miss Universe coming, but Pia's cool, so cool and grounded. You know why? Because she knows what to do with herself and she knows how to be relevant. Yun lang eh, parang some people may say, oh, people will forget you na after a reign.
Yeah.
But here you are after 2015, still relevant. How do you keep yourself relevant, Pete?
I enjoy everything that I'm doing. Like, I don't go into projects that I feel like, ito kasi yung gusto ng mga tao para sa akin. Kasi kung susundin ko lang din yung gusto ng mga tao, full-time artista na ako. Nag-movie, teleserye, ganyan. Kasi yun yung lagi kong naririnig. Pero, people are smart. They know when you are not in it 100%. They feel when you're not really into it, if it's not authentic to you. So I'm intentional with the projects I do now. I do projects that I find fun. I like having fun. Like, I love creating. I love thinking of new things. I love like surprising people with new things.
Yung likot ng isip, no? Oo.
I feel like I'm like a fish. If I stop swimming, I'll drown. Like, I have to keep moving.
Tama naman.
And the thing with me is I'm always working on something. I know some people are like kind of surprised. Biglang may book, Pia Wurtzbach, biglang may libro. But they don't know that
Oh,
this is
di ba?
something that we've been working on for a while. Like people don't know what happens behind the scenes. They don't know how long this took. And
The
this
process
isn't the
and the hard
only
work.
thing that I want to do. I actually have a few more ideas and projects that I like announcing pagka medyo half luto na siya. Alam mo yun?
Yes. Hindi press release, no?
Yeah,
And
oo.
then, the thing is, you're so grounded. We've worked with people in the advertising world and they say, oh, yung reinvention ni Pia, natural. Parang meron yung iba aral, di ba? Meron talaga aral. Pero ikaw, inaaral mo, pero ang impression talaga, or well, the way you deal with people, they talk about you and you deal with them nicely. And they talk to us. Sila na mismo nagsasabi na, see, you've been loyal to your sponsors and advertisers. Di ba? Ang tagal nila sa'yo. Like, why? Because they see you as grounded and kung ano man yung pagbabago mo, they wanna grow with you. Yun parang yun. And your audience are on for major surprises with you always.
Yeah.
At yung mabigla man kami sa ginagawa mo, sasabihin namin, ay, tatak ni Pia yan, binibigla nila kami. Pero yun nga, very intentional. You said very intentional. Pero ano yung rule mo when you do something, when you plan something, it has to make you happy? Or ano yung kailangan kumukulo yung tiyan mo and say, uy, na-excite ako, parang gano'n.
Oo. Ang motto ko nga, if it's, naturo sa akin to ni Sean taga Miss Universe siya noon, ganyan. Sabi niya, if it's not a hell yes, then it's not a yes.
Yes.
If it doesn't make you go yes, like, oh my gosh, if it doesn't make you excited, then it's not really a yes.
Parang it's a religious experience, no? When you're close to it, natatakot ka. Pero ang sarap lang ng feeling when you're able to accomplish this. So, a book, really kasi, well, yung sinasabi, how do you plot your contribution to society? Number 1, have a family. Isang sinasabi nila. Number 2, plant a tree. And third talaga, write a book. And you've done it. You've done those already. No? Parang, next. Well, you've had a family. You created a family this year also. How did your husband react to this book?
Well, this is something na nagde-date pa lang kami na mention
Nagawa mo na.
kanya. Oo.
Okay.
So he knew this was happening. At first he thought I was doing a children's book actually.
No, but that's not far. Baka siguro pag may anak ka na, eventually pwede, di ba?
Yeah. Oo.
Kasi for a different audience. Pero is he part of the book? Like kunyari, meron ba siyang representation dun sa libro?
Wala. But
okay.
kasi nabuo na namin to ng bago pa siya pumasok sa eksena. So, but I'll give you this trivia. And this is the first time I'm mentioning it. In the first draft, it actually starts with the main character as a young version of herself, like growing up pa lang si Cleo. And she is in but we took this chapter out because sinimula na namin na adult na siya and nag New Year's party na sila. But in the first one, I don't know if this was some sort of sign, but her little crush,
is Mark.
name niya was Jeremy.
Jeremy. Galing.
Yung pangalan ng crush niya sa first pero it's only in the beginning. He doesn't come back as a character at the end. It was only to set the tone between her relationship with her dad because it starts in a school play. Tapos hinihintay niya sanang dumating yung tatay niya. So kasi hinahanap niya sa audience yung tatay niya. Tapos ang kapartner niya doon Jeremy yung name. So
power of suggestion.
Pumasok ang Tuttle Publishing, tapos we went the Filipino route. So may chapters that we found was unnecessary, took that out. So but there's a little trivia. There was supposed to be a Jeremy here.
Galing, no, but when you write your autobiography already. That should be part of it. Na, okay, may manifestation. Well, of course, Lucy Torres signing her as Lucy Gomez when she was younger. Di ba? Parang gano'n, di ba? And power of manifestation, and now sa book nandyan. But how did he react to you having a book? And kasi alam mo sa world niya, as someone who does travel, siya yung pwede kasi, di ba? Parang the experience, the wealth of experience he can share to other people.
Yeah, he's actually a travel editor,
Yun nga.
contributor for Asia Tatler.
Yun.
The thing with Jeremy is whenever I tell him about like Miss Universe, the book, the projects I'm doing, of course he says that he's very proud and he's supportive, but it's not really the things that impress him the most. He just enjoys me
The
and my
time off, yes.
the time off. Yeah. So you know what I mean? Like I'll mention it to him, but it's not like he doesn't try to inflate my ego so much and be like doing so well. Like of course, like I get a lot of support, but we don't
ang ganda,
I
Pia.
don't feel na it's because of these titles.
Kaya kanya minahal. Yes. Yun nga eh. Parang strip off pag uwi niyo sa bahay, strip off your titles and your preoccupations. Parang it's your basic self na minamahal niyo. Okay naman. How has things changed since you got married? I guess you're throwing that question. When I saw your interview sa Vogue, when you attended the Vogue thing, it's the first public appearance. Alam mo, ang ganda ng sagot niyo na, okay, nothing much kasi you're parang normal.
Yeah.
It's just meeting other people. Nasukalan ng mga tao kasi may malaking pagbabago when people get married. Pero it seems like you're so cool.
I'm not really sure exactly about like what kind of change is supposed to happen. I don't hindi ko masyadong gets. Actually, honestly, kasi parang nagbago.
Dinadramahan lang ng mga tao sasabihin, oy, may nagbago pag kinasal na, but it's really, marriage is a routine. It's making something special out of a routine.
Yeah, I feel like now it's just naging formal na lang na we're a team.
And then, parang meron kang home. Yun yata siguro. And you're not thinking of yourself lang.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're planning towards a future together. And it's also, I mean, coming from a broken family, it's also really reassuring to know that I have my person now. You know, that this person won't just walk out the door like just like that. It like we're married. Like you're not gonna just leave me. Because growing up, of course, you have this fear, especially when you come from a broken family, na baka yun din ang mangyari sa akin, or yun din yung, or naiwan ako kasi my dad left us, ganyan, baka maiwan ako, ganyan. But that fear goes away. If anything, I just feel more secure now kasi, you know, chose to do life together now for the rest of our lives. So
ang maganda pa, the last time I interviewed you, you didn't know where you'd go next. Kasi meron, pupunta ka ng Abu Dhabi, pupunta ka ng ganun. Pero now you have home. Parang, and ang ganda when you're asked, what will you do? Sabi, what will you do next after the Tatler thing? Sabi, we'll do a lot of travel. A lot of travels pa before the year ends. So what have you planned so far? So aalis, babalik ka ulit after a month?
Ngayon, I am actually going to be busy promoting the book. Tutuloy-tuloy namin to kasi available na siya sa Pilipinas ngayong September. Pero ang international release nito is November naman. So tuloy-tuloy ang promotion namin. And I'm doing my very first Milan and Paris Fashion Week this September. So that's really exciting. That's also another thing that I've been manifesting for so long. The last time I did Fashion Week was when I was Miss Universe pa in New York. In 2017.
See, imagine, it doesn't stop with your being Mrs., di ba?
Yeah. Yung, alam mo, but in fairness, like, I did have that fear, like, magbabago ba yung image at branding ko pagka naging Mrs. na ako na parang ito na ba yun? Like, am I gonna be a different kind of Pia now? Like, I don't want it to change. I want to keep doing what I'm doing. You
Sa
know what I mean?
likot ng isip mo, Pia, at sa ganda ng puso mo, hindi yun mawawala. So, well, let's tell them. It's available for pre-order sa Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and then it's available now in fully booked National Bookstore and Lazada.
Yes, that's
So,
correct.
kailan available abroad?
Available abroad. Pwede nang i-pre-order ngayon, pero
Yes,
available abroad by November 7.
November 7.
So,
Okay.
priority muna yung Pilipinas that everybody gets a copy now. Later on, we
Correct.
might do a hardbound cover.
Yes,
But for
yes.
now, let's prioritize this, especially since it's mas mura kasi paperback, so I want more
Totoo rin
people to get
naman.
copies.
Totoo rin
And
naman.
then we are, aside from the Manila International Book Fair launch,
Yes, I'll see you there.
September 14,
Yes.
we're also doing a few book signings around Metro Manila. So I'll announce
Okay.
the venues and the dates on my social media accounts once they're final. And we're also aiming for international book signing engagements as well. We're starting with Singapore in November. November. And then later on, we'll work our way, mag-Middle East tayo, mag-US tayo, tutulungan tayo na Miss Rika dyan.
Oo.
Tapos, yeah.
Ang maganda pa dyan, ito, from someone who has a book, Rika was part of my book also when I turned 50. She wrote a chapter there, an article there on PR. Dapat meron ka ng, kung kaya mong mag-pre-sign, kung nasa aeroplano ka, i-pre-sign mo ng iba, tapos tatanungin mo na lang yung name para hindi matagal.
Oo nga.
Yun yung advice. But,
Yes.
at saka parang ako, people would like to have their names there. And then, parang maganda rin sabihin mo sa kanila na, pagkatapos mong basahin, pamana mo yan. Kasi, yun yung doon. Yun yung beauty ng isang written page.
That's
na
true.
pwede.
True.
Yung mga may hirap na mga tao nung sa grade school at high school tayo, after ng isang taon, ipapasa nila sa susunod na year, nagsishare sila ng libro. And
Alam
that
mo,
would be a good gesture, yeah.
a little trivia, like,
Yeah.
totoo yan. I have a friend who was gifted a book called The Secret. I believe he was gifted by Sariap. We know Sariap.
Yes, of course.
So he was given that book and then passed it on to me. And then I read it before I competed, and also before I competed, Bible naman. I got it from Dayan Castillejo, but Dayan, it was gifted by Manny Pacquiao naman. So, totoo talaga yung sinasabi mo na pass it on.
Yes, because passing
Passing
of
on, yeah.
knowledge and passing of goodwill. And then, maganda yung timing. Rika, magaling din dyan. The timing na Pasko. It can be the best gift, no? That the gift of knowledge, the gift of words, assuring words, and all. So parang, yun, and enjoy mo lang yan, P. Para ka nga sa nanganak that with a book. And then, with your marriage, yun nga, kailan ka naman? Do you plan in having a baby, a real baby soon? Or when the Lord gives it, sige, hindi siya pinipressure kasi I'm sure a lot of people are asking that. Pero kasi yun na nga, pwede mong sabihin, libro muna kasi ito na yan. But, are you ready for that grace?
Not soon, not anytime soon. I mean, Jeremy is so ready because he is like, he wants a big family and he's very excited. But he understands that there's still a few things on my list that I want to check out. And that will make me feel more prepared for motherhood. So thank goodness he's very supportive with that. But thank you for asking. Yes, I would love to have kids one day. But for now, we're timing it. Hindi naman kami na parang if it happens, it happens. I want to plan this one properly.
Very Pia. Ito pa nga. Parang na-touch din ako nung sinabi mo sa Vogue Press na one of the things na kinatuwa mo is him adjusting to you and coming to the Philippines probably more often.
Yeah.
Galing. Is that something you asked from him, or siya na rin yung nagsabi, because I'm your husband now, I should be knowing more about your culture?
He's been to the Philippines many times before I met him. So, ano na siya, close na siya sa Pilipinas. He loves the culture, yung mga tao, natutuwa na siya. Na-interview na rin naman siya before, hindi pa kami magkakilala. He did his rounds already as CEO of Beautiful Destinations. But then, when we met, I think, hindi naman particularly coming to the Philippines, but I needed to learn more about the industry I'm in. Kasi magkaiba kami ng mundo. So sabi ko, punta ka, come to an event once in a while, visit me at a shoot once in a while, so you see what I'm doing, so you see how I work. Kasi ngayon, by kwento ko lang nasasabi, pictures, videos, or yung mga napopost ko. Pero I want him to have, to just see what I do for work. So sabi ko, please come more often. And sabi ko, hinahanap ko rin ng mga tao, isipin nila, I just have an imaginary husband. They never see you.
Not only that, the bonding with your family.
Yeah. Well, my family's in the UK, pero my extended family here, in the Philippines. Of course, I want to meet my friends, and see the people I work with. Yeah.
At saka ang maganda sa kanya, diretso rin siya sumagot katulad mo.
Galing
Hindi
niya.
ba?
Parang na-train, na-press train.
Kaya siguro kayo, kaya napapatahimik ka rin niya, I guess. Kasi the thing with people na medyo articulate, parang okay, you can like converse in silence. And it seems like that, no? Parang hindi niyo kailangan magsalita. Well, P, before marami ring issues dito kunya, not about you, but kunyari the pageant scene. I know you're so over it, but then parang I know, hindi ko sabing na-outgrow, pero I want to get your opinion about the ownership of the Miss Universe thing. Somehow parang nadadilute na tuloy yung parang integrity ba yun? No? Because of the issues surrounding it. Ikaw ba hindi mo nakita owning a pageant? Sorry,
what? Owning my...
Your own pageant? No, hindi.
I've been asked. I've been asked to be national director. I've been asked to be a national director for Miss Universe Philippines years ago. But I was honest. I said I don't have the skill set for this. I'm not going to jump into
You're self-aware.
Yeah, like this. This isn't. I appreciate it. I'm flattered by it, and it's a huge role. I understand, but I'm not at that time. I just parang I was still trying to find my groove after the pageant. So hindi ko pa gamay what it's like to be the organizer and not the girl.
And the business side, siguro the creative ones, okay, and the heart you can. Pero yun nga, parang it's now. Yung crushing of the system comes from the business side. Diba? Remember, even the Miss Universe side is on the business side.
It is, and I'm starting to learn that now, that it really is it's a business. You have to know how to run things. You have sponsors. You have girls to take care of. You have a competition to win. And it doesn't start and end on pageant season and pageant night. Like year of preparation, of constantly finding funds and sponsors. I haven't been formally asked, but I've heard of another competition that also wants to get me as a national director. And I'm like, I'm very, very flattered, but it's a huge responsibility.
Thanks.
And respectfully, I do not want to disappoint. So I know myself, if I want to have my own brand one day, but I'm not sure if
pageantry, yes.
Something that big.
Yes. Knowing you, it's not the bigness, but more the impact. Di ba yung mas lasting? Kasi you can be pompous or parang major or grand, but somehow nawawala yun eh. Like kunyari, a book is, for some people may not be grand, but then the impact is lasting.
Yeah.
Mas yun yata yung legacy mo. So relevant pa rin ba, P? Parang, kaya lang parang yung mga tao naiiba na tuloy yung pagtingin because nga the leaders, the ones handling it, medyo may question. So,
it's not the same anymore for sure. Kasi the people that like kunyari sila Esther, they're not there anymore. So I don't visit Miss Universe every year, the office, I mean, but every time I have been visiting the past couple of years, paiba na siya.
And the
Paiba
rules change. Not that it's bad, but it might be adapting to the times. But then somehow it's really different na from what you went through.
it's a different era. Like, I
Yeah.
felt like my time then was a different time, a different
Yeah.
experience for the girl, a
Yes.
different organization, different owners, iba.
Yes. Yes.
Nagbago na siya, oo.
Yes. But it's nice to like for you to say na eventually baka nga meron ka ibang brand, baka meron bang ibang advocacy no that you be able to do. Ikaw pa naman hindi ka naman nawawalan ng ganun. So nice. That one about the sa Miss Universe. And now ayun din with people trying to achieve something for themselves. Yun nga sino pa aside from you yung nakikita mong na-admire mo kasi you're in the League of Filipinas na tipong we regard highly no you're in the line of Heidelin, Maria Ressa, ikaw
Grabe.
totoo naman and you continue to reinvent. Sino pa yung sa tingin mo parang you still emulate amongst our Filipinas?
Well, the women you mentioned are women to look up to. Si Heidelin, si Maria Ressa, Dolly De Leon, Lea Salonga. These are women to emulate. And the thing is that parang hindi lang hype eh. Parang tuloy-tuloy din yung mga ginagawa nila, and they also continue doing what they love, and they reinvent themselves and they pass on what they know. So
explain mo sa akin kasi ito handling Heidelin now. Yung tipong pag artista ka kasi may Hall of Fame that will end your your quest for an acting award. And then pag Miss Universe ka na, parang hindi ka na sasali sa iba pa. But then why for sports? It's different. They want parang Manny Pacquiao, di ba? Not quit while you're ahead, but it's really habang kaya pa ng lakas. And with Heidelin, unlike Manny, na merong monetary thing involved, ito you're doing it for the country and wala namang cost pag nag-Olympics ka. What's driving people like you to like reinvent and be relevant and then
I think it's at this point I can speak for myself. At this point where I have these achievements, the only clear, logical next thing to do is to pass it on.
That's
Pass
true.
on what you know.
That's
Like,
true.
di naman laging ikaw ang
Tama yan.
di ba? Parang
yan.
syempre, may mga susunod. May mga
Tama yan.
kailangan ng advice, kailangan ng mentorship, kailangan
And not all about you. That's why meron si
Yes.
Heidi now is training mga young weightlifters not to do that. And I guess yung fulfillment niya doesn't come from like kayo yung bida.
Yes. Well, doesn't it feel so nice to be part of somebody else's success too?
Ang galing.
To be like,
Yeah.
alam mo, kunyari ako, alam ko na nagka-moment na ako sa Miss You, but knowing that I could be part in some way, no matter how small, part of someone else's success and seeing that moment na nagka-moment din sila, whether it's a sports, a pageant na, oh my gosh, napanood ko siyang nag-grow, na nag-start. Tapos, naging part ako nun. Hindi man ako yung nandyan sa stage, part ako nung journey na yan, part ako nung struggle na yan. Makakausap ko yan after at pagtatawanan namin yung mga time na nahihirapan pa siya. Alam mo yun, ang saya nung ganong feeling. Parang
You're no longer in a competition.
Yes.
Kasi di ba, forever sa show business, parang competition. Kailangan mo pa itong pag may bata, nagiging threat. Pero you're out of the competition anymore.
Nakakapagod yung ganong feeling, sa totoo lang. I'm glad that I'm not there anymore, and I'm also glad that people have stopped comparing me to other beauty queens, and it's really toned down a lot in the couple of years. Siguro nung mga umpisa, the first few years, I kept getting compared, and even when Catriona won, they kept like pinagsasabong.
Maganda, you find your own corner where you will excel.
Yeah.
Yung maganda, and you wish each other well.
And you realize that this world is so big. Bakit ba tayo nag-aagawan sa pwesto? Ang lawak-lawak. There's so much space for everyone to grow. There's so much space for everyone to learn. And I yung feeling na naiinggit ka, nai-insecure ka, ganyan. Kasi may hindi ka ginagawa. Kaya doon nanggagaling.
Yes.
Di ba?
And you're beyond that already. Parang you're tapos na yon. Ang galing lang. And it seems like you're really coming from a good place, huh?
Thank you, Noel. Like well, Jeremy is a huge part of my happiness, of course. You know, it's so nice to be to feel safe in a relationship with somebody who just pushes you and supports you and also loves you. And kasi ang nangyayari, my cup is filled, so it's overspilling. So now I have to share.
Ang galing.
I mean, that's how I see it.
Seems like you're really coming from a good place. One last. He's in the news now, and someone close to us too. Pinipare sa'yo si Atom the last time.
Oh my God.
So
is he in the news now?
In the news now because he filed not a libel case, but a civil case for people who have red tagged him and sowed disinformation. How important is it for people to call out those people spreading lies and disinformation? Kasi, di ba somehow, di ba, pag ikaw, show business, pinalalampas yun na sabi, that adds color to everything. But somehow when your integrity shot, parang, was there ever a time when you felt parang compelled na at gusto mo ng, okay, at least step back, call out those people who were spreading lies about you?
Well, first of all, I didn't know this thing that's happening.
Today lang, this morning.
Ko lang nalaman, yeah.
This morning. And it takes guts, for a news personality to be in the news. Somehow, di ba, pag ikaw ang news personality, ikaw yung taga-report. When you become news, it's different.
And yeah, and for like in his case, it's about the red tagging thing. So you are going up against some powerful people, I believe, or people of influence at least. So as a public personality, there have been times where I let it slide. So you choose your battles. There are times where I've let it slide and I regretted it because I felt like I was being too much of a coward. Like parang pwede naman akong magsalita or defend statement, pero hindi ko ginawa kasi ayoko nang palakihin. But that's part of
yun. Pero kung security mo yung you could have easily said yung kaya mo pa yun. That's true.
But you're also right if it's something very clear where your name is mentioned and, of course, with the advice of your lawyers, they can say, this is libelous. You can actually really go after this person then. And if it threatens your livelihood.
Yeah.
And if it threatens your reputation, your career, your personal relationships, of course, then you have to act. But if I've learned that if it's a hearsay thing, then just ignore it. It really depends on the case.
True. That's true.
The thing with showbiz din kasi, Noel, that there's a kind of journalism that's so tricky because people can talk about you without talking about you. You get what I mean?
That's true.
And you can't
you can choose what to listen to. Di ba? And you can parang be the bigger person to say, okay, hindi ako yan. Sige, bahala na kayo if your discourse is like that. Pero somehow they thrive.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how that's going to change in the next couple of years. So much has changed with social media during 2020 going onwards, and behavior of people and how we talk online and how we converse has changed a lot. So I'm curious to see how we can better protect ourselves, not just public figures, but anybody with an online presence, protect themselves and have rights to defend their corner.
Ganda. In social media, what's your what's your reason why you're there? Parang I guess it's so spelled out na I'll put this out on social media because it's this. Or I'd rather be mom about this kasi okay na. Parang ano yung bago ka, before you post, magandang malaman ng mga tao, ano yung pamantayan mo when you post something?
I just share my life. I just
Galing
enjoy
nga
doing
eh.
it. Like, parang kunyari today, gusto kong magkipag Q&A dun sa sa broadcast channel ko sa Instagram. I have time, so I'll talk to them. I feel like they are part of my life, you know? So, and
Okay.
it's not a forced thing na, ay, kailangan ko mag-update kasi wala pa ako nagpo-post. Like, I actually enjoy conversing with
Oh,
people. I reply to DM sometimes. I like to crowdsource. So I feel like it's not just a one-way communication where
tama.
I'm putting things out there, but I'm never listening to you. I also listen. And your audience is a good guide for your next career move, for the next.
That's true. That's
Kasi
true.
who else are you doing it for? You're doing it for the people who are watching you. And who
Tama
better
naman
person to
yun.
ask what to do
Kundi
next?
sila.
I ask them like, what do you guys want to see more?
That's true. That's true. Pero yun ha, we love you sa pagiging loka-loka. No,
Thank
no,
you.
we don't want you to be so predictable. We're so happy that you surprise us with things.
Thank
Kasi
you.
people can second guess na your next moves. Parang that's the start of your end eh. Parang
Yeah.
ako yun pa rin yung, Pia will always surprise us and surprise us really well. And you do it, yun nga eh. Merong hard work, may perseverance, may excellence. And it doesn't start and end with you. Hindi, it's not about you. Alam mo kung para kanino yon. So with the book now, you know your audience. It's for the young people.
Mhm.
So, but for the old people to become more, parang K-pop, no? Parang nakasama pati mga magulang. So what's in it for people like us? Like the more mature
Yeah.
readers.
It's a light fun read. Some parts are funny, the things that she goes through, some of it is quite petty. It gives you a little glimpse into that world na totoo ba? Yan ba yung nag-aawayan ng mga girls? Alam mo yun, yung parang ito ba talaga yung challenges? It's entertaining. It's entertainment. It's meant to be entertaining, fun, light, easy, and I guess a reminder if when you finish it and you get to the ending, it's a reminder that you really determine the kind of crown you wear. It's not the
It's true.
glitz, the glamour, and the title and the
Galing.
vanity of things.
And it's the universe you create.
Yeah.
Parang, di ba? It's a universe you create. And it's not just about you. It's
Correct.
you and your relationship with other people. And to end this,
Yeah.
why we love Pia because she's real.
Thank you.
Hindi siya hindi siya aral. No, or nag-aaral man siya. Parang she's so unpredictable. She echoes the quirks, our quirks and our fun side. But at the very core is that there's a grounded person, a loving person, and someone who knows how to be relevant really without striving hard to. Yun siguro, Pia. And you can only do that when you're coming from a good place. Yun
Thank
talaga. Kung hindi ka masaya, hindi mo magagawa yan. Parang kung hindi ka masaya, marami ka pang papatunayan sa mundo. It doesn't seem like yun yung preoccupation mo. So, my prayers for you to just be happy, stay happy, so that tama ka, yung cup full, so you can share it to the world. I love you, you know that. Well,
thank
yun
you,
yung that whole feeling na thank you for inspiring all of us. Always, always. And I love Rika for like threading you to this path.
Yeah.
Because it's something, yun nga, parang some people may think, a book. Pero yung our ano is, how lasting will your projects be? Hindi na siya yung flash in the pan, the major big, momentary big, but then this impact and the advocacy for reading is something we want to support. So, yun, P, last pitch for Queen of the Universe. And thank you for being that in our lives.
Of course. Thank you for the very kind words, by the way, Noel. Thank you so much. everybody, Queen of the Universe is out now in the Philippines. You can buy this sa National Bookstore o kaya sa Fully Book. Kung ayaw mo naman lumabas ng bahay, okay lang din. Online, Lazada. May Fully Book National Bookstore. Online din yan. And if you can, come to our meet and greets. I'll be announcing yung mga susunod pa sa mga iba't ibang malls sa Metro Manila. Magse-Cebu din kami. So pupunta tayo dyan. At yung mga kababayan din natin abroad, we will schedule some book signings there also. So I'll announce more about that closer to the time. But until then, if you are in the Philippines and you can get copy, please get it. If you tag me in the stories, I repost them to thank everybody. So thank you. And please let me know your feedback. I want to know what you think.
Yes.
Everybody's been tagging me in the pictures, but siguro yung mga tao nagsisimula pa lang din magbasa, but I want to know feedback. So
Correct. It will help her also in creating something more. Thank you, Pia, sa hindi mo paglayo sa amin. Kasi when yun, there's this effect pag naging queen ka, you're unreachable. Thank you for that queen that's readily parang reachable. Because you inspire us a lot and you bring out the best in us also. So thank you, and we just wish you the best. We love you. I love you, you know that. And I know your heart, and be happy you deserve to.
Am I gonna see you on September 4th?
I will on the 14th. Yes, I'll see you there.
Thank you.
And big hug, my friend.
Hugs.
Salamat, P, and until our next talk. Maraming
Thank you,
salamat and
Noel.
thank you
I
for
love
loving up with them. See you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mga Katipuneros, it's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.